1% better every day, the key to continuous success. Written introduction. Imagine waking up tomorrow just 1% better than you were today. What would that look like? A slight shift in your daily habits, a new mindset, or a fresh approach to the challenges you face. It may seem like a small, insignificant change at first, but consider this. If you made that 1% improvement every single day, by the end of the year, you'd be 37 times better than you are today. It's not about making huge leaps all at once. It's about harnessing the power of tiny, consistent actions that compound over time. In 1% better every day, the key to continuous success, you'll discover how these small, incremental changes can lead to massive, life-altering results. This audiobook will show you how to build lasting habits, develop a growth-oriented mindset, and create the momentum you need to unlock your full potential. Ready to take control of your progress, one small step at a time. Let's dive in. Chapter 1. The Quantum Leaps of Micro-Progress. When we think of success, we often imagine dramatic breakthroughs or monumental changes. We envision those life-changing moments that catapult us from one level to the next. However, what if real and lasting transformation didn't come from these grand shifts, but rather from the tiny, almost invisible steps we take each day? In this chapter, we challenge the conventional view of progress by introducing the concept of micro-progress. Small, consistent improvements that, over time, add up to something extraordinary. Research on habit formation and neuroplasticity shows that our brains respond powerfully to incremental changes. Instead of expecting immediate, massive results, the brain thrives when it's exposed to small, manageable challenges that encourage growth. Every time you make a tiny improvement, whether it's a new habit, a minor change in your routine, or simply learning something new, you're rewiring your brain. This gradual progression, or micro-progress, activates neural pathways that strengthen over time, resulting in larger, more sustainable changes that feel effortless but have a lasting impact. Think of it like this: small adjustments in your daily life. Whether it's waking up 10 minutes earlier, reading a chapter of a book, or improving a specific skill just a little bit each day, set off a chain reaction of positive growth. Over weeks, months, and even years, these seemingly insignificant changes compound, creating a massive shift in your life that would have been impossible to achieve with a single, large-scale effort. To help make this more tangible, consider real-life examples of individuals who have embraced micro-progress. Athletes, for example, don't become champions overnight. They train for years, making incremental improvements to their technique, strength, and endurance every single day. The same principle applies to entrepreneurs, students, or anyone striving for success. They focus on small daily gains that eventually build into remarkable achievements. Now take a moment to reflect on one area of your life where small, consistent improvements could make a difference. Perhaps it's improving your fitness, enhancing your productivity at work, or developing better relationships. Whatever it is, identify that area and take immediate action. Start today by making that 1% improvement, no matter how small. Commit to this daily effort, and you'll soon begin to notice the compound effect of your progress, transforming your life in ways you never imagined. Chapter 2. The Rule of 365. Transforming a year with tiny changes. We often think of success as a long-term goal that requires major, immediate action. But what if we could completely transform our lives over the course of a year by making tiny changes every single day? In this chapter, we explore the power of the Rule of 365, a principle that shows how small, consistent improvements, made each day, can lead to extraordinary results over the course of a year. When you focus on making just 1% improvement every day, it doesn't seem like much in the beginning. However, when you add up those small changes over time, the results are anything but small. A 1% improvement every day for 365 days equals a 37x improvement by the end of the year. This is the power of compounding progress. At first, the changes may be barely noticeable, but over time, they build upon each other, creating massive transformation. It's not about doing everything at once, but making steady, deliberate strides that accumulate into a completely different outcome. Think about it like a snowball rolling down a hill. It starts off small, but as it picks up speed, it grows larger and larger. By focusing on improving just 1% every day, you ensure that you're always gaining momentum, making the most out of every opportunity to grow. This chapter breaks down how you can strategically set daily, small goals that collectively push you closer to your long-term dreams. Real-life examples further demonstrate how the rule of 365 works. For instance, writers often face the challenge of creating large, complex works. But by committing to writing just a few hundred words every day, they can finish books, articles, or scripts over the course of the year. The same applies to fitness. People don't run marathons by training for 12 hours straight. Instead, they build stamina with smaller, manageable workouts every day, which add up to lasting results over time. By focusing on these daily improvements, you are leveraging the compound effect to achieve long-term success. You don't need to see instant results. It's the consistency of your efforts over time that will produce remarkable outcomes. Chapter 3. How to make the 1% habit stick. To create lasting change, it's not enough to simply want to improve. The real challenge is making that 1% improvement a consistent part of your life. This is where most people struggle. They start strong but find it difficult to maintain momentum. The key to success is making small daily improvements stick, and this comes down to creating the right environment, mindset, and strategies that support lasting change. The first step in making a habit stick is setting yourself up for success. Research in habit formation has shown that the environment plays a crucial role in whether or not we continue to engage in a new habit. For example, if you're trying to eat healthier, having fruits and vegetables visible and accessible in your kitchen makes it more likely that you'll make better food choices. On the other hand, if you have unhealthy snacks within reach, you'll be more tempted to fall back into old habits. By shaping your environment to support your goals, you're increasing the chances that your 1% improvements will become a regular part of your life. Another powerful tool for making habits stick is habit stacking, the practice of linking a new habit to an existing one. For instance, if you already have a habit of drinking a cup of coffee every morning, you can stack a new habit, like stretching for 5 minutes, right after you make your coffee. This strategy takes advantage of the automatic nature of habits. You don't have to think about the new habit because it's tied to something you already do. By stacking small actions onto your existing routines, you make them feel like a natural extension of your day, making them easier to stick with. Tracking progress is another effective way to reinforce your 1% improvement. It's easy to lose motivation when you don't see immediate results, but when you track your progress, even the smallest gains become visible. Whether it's writing down the number of pages you've read each day, logging your workouts, or noting your daily achievements, keeping track helps you stay accountable and motivated. Seeing your progress over time can also remind you of how far you've come, which keeps you going, especially during difficult moments when the improvements may feel small. The most crucial element to making habits stick is patience. Understanding that change takes time and that 1% improvements will accumulate slowly is essential to staying committed. Too often we give up because we expect instant results. But when you accept that the path to success is a gradual one, it becomes easier to stay the course, even when progress feels slow. The combination of creating the right environment, habit stacking, tracking progress, and being patient will set you up for long-term success. By focusing on small, consistent improvements every day, you'll make the 1% habit stick and transform your life in ways you never thought possible. Chapter 4. Overcoming obstacles and staying on track. No matter how motivated you are, obstacles are inevitable on the path to success. Whether it's external challenges, unexpected setbacks, or internal struggles like self-doubt, the journey toward consistent improvement can feel daunting. However, the key to achieving lasting success is not avoiding these obstacles, but learning how to navigate them and stay on track despite them. One of the first obstacles many face is self-doubt. When we set out to improve, especially by just 1% each day, it's easy to feel like our efforts are too small to make a difference. Over time, this doubt can erode our motivation and make us question whether we're doing enough. The truth is, small progress often feels insignificant in the moment, but the results compound over time. Instead of focusing on the immediate impact, remind yourself of the bigger picture. Keep track of your small wins and acknowledge the progress you've made, even when it feels like you're not moving forward quickly enough. Every step, no matter how small, is one step closer to your goal. Another common challenge is distractions. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. Whether it's social media, work demands, or personal commitments, it's easy to lose focus on your goals. To stay on track, you need to be intentional about how you manage your time and energy. One strategy is to set clear boundaries around your most productive hours. Dedicate specific blocks of time each day to focus solely on your 1% improvements. Eliminate distractions during these times. Turn off notifications, set your phone aside, and create a space where you can fully immerse yourself in the task at hand. When obstacles arise, it's also important to practice resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks. There will be days when progress feels impossible or when you slip up and miss a day of improvement. Instead of letting these moments derail your efforts, treat them as learning opportunities. Ask yourself what caused the setback and how you can adjust your approach moving forward. Remember, setbacks are not failures. They're simply part of the learning process. It's your ability to persist, even when things go wrong, that will ultimately determine your success. Another powerful tool for overcoming obstacles is accountability. When you share your goals with others, or even just track your progress publicly, you create an external layer of accountability that keeps you committed. Whether it's through a coach, a friend, or an online community, having someone or something to report to can help you stay focused and motivated, especially on days when you don't feel like putting in the effort. Sometimes obstacles arise because our goals feel too big or overwhelming. In these moments, it's essential to break down larger goals into smaller, manageable tasks. By focusing on the small steps rather than the end result, you remove the pressure of perfection and make the process feel more achievable. This approach not only reduces the stress associated with big goals, but also aligns perfectly with the 1% improvement strategy, where each tiny task becomes a building block for long-term success. Overcoming obstacles and staying on track is about perspective and persistence. It's not about eliminating challenges entirely. It's about learning how to approach them with a mindset of growth and adaptability. By staying committed to your 1% improvement each day, even in the face of obstacles, you build the resilience and determination needed to succeed in the long run. Keep pushing forward, and remember that every small effort is part of a bigger transformation that will eventually lead to extraordinary results. Chapter 5. Mastering Momentum. How to use the 1% rule to create unstoppable progress. Momentum is one of the most powerful forces in the pursuit of success, and it's also one of the most elusive. When you're stuck in a cycle of procrastination or feeling stagnant, it can seem impossible to break free. But once you gain momentum, things start to click, and progress begins to feel almost effortless. This is why learning to master momentum is crucial if you want to achieve lasting success. The 1% improvement rule can help you generate momentum that carries you forward even on days when motivation is low or obstacles arise. The concept of momentum is simple. Once you start moving, it becomes easier to keep moving. It's the reason why the hardest part of any task is often starting it in the first place. As you take that first step, however small, you begin to build the energy necessary to continue. Just like a snowball rolling down a hill, small actions build upon one another and gain speed over time. Once you have momentum, progress feels natural and unstoppable. But how do you create this momentum? It all begins with consistent action. Even on days when you feel like you're not making huge progress, taking small, consistent steps will set you on the right path. The beauty of the 1% rule is that it removes the need for massive actions and allows you to focus on making small, manageable improvements each day. These small steps build a sense of accomplishment, which then fuels more action. It's a cycle of positive reinforcement. One of the key elements in mastering momentum is creating a routine that makes it easy to take consistent action. When your actions become automatic, you don't have to rely on motivation to keep going. Motivation can fluctuate, and if you wait for it to show up, you might find yourself stuck. But by creating a routine where small actions are built into your day, you reduce the friction of getting started. It becomes part of who you are. The habit itself becomes the driving force that powers you forward, regardless of how you feel on any given day. For example, consider the practice of daily exercise. On the days when you're feeling energized and motivated, it's easy to jump into an intense workout. But on days when you're tired or distracted, motivation is low, and the thought of exercising can feel overwhelming. However, if you build a habit of simply showing up every day, even if it's just for a 5-minute walk or stretching routine, you maintain momentum. The small action of getting started, even on the hardest days, ensures that you keep moving forward. Over time, the habit becomes ingrained, and as momentum builds, you start achieving results that go far beyond your initial efforts. Another critical factor in generating momentum is progress tracking. When you track your improvements, even the smallest ones, you reinforce the idea that progress is happening. This reinforces your belief in the process and makes it easier to stay on track. Progress tracking doesn't have to be complex. It could be as simple as checking off items on a to-do list, marking off a calendar, or keeping a daily journal. By visually seeing your efforts accumulate, you create a sense of accomplishment that propels you to keep moving forward. This is why it's so important to celebrate even the smallest victories. Every time you make an improvement, no matter how minor, acknowledge it. These small celebrations trigger a sense of accomplishment and joy, which keeps you motivated. By consistently reinforcing your progress with positive feedback, you prime yourself for further action. The more you celebrate small wins, the more you'll start seeing the compounding effect of your efforts. In addition to progress tracking and small celebrations, another powerful tool to accelerate momentum is accountability. Having someone to share your journey with can make a huge difference. Whether it's a friend, a mentor, or even a community of like-minded individuals, accountability gives you an external source of motivation and responsibility. When you know someone else is expecting you to show up and take action, you're far more likely to keep going, even when your inner motivation wanes. This external pressure helps reinforce the internal drive to maintain consistency and keep momentum going. However, momentum is not without its potential challenges. One of the most common obstacles is burnout. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of starting a new habit or pursuing a new goal, but if you push yourself too hard, you risk burning out. That's why it's important to pace yourself and maintain balance. The 1% improvement rule helps here because it encourages small, sustainable changes rather than overwhelming yourself with drastic measures. The key to mastering momentum is recognizing that it's not about how fast you go, but how consistently you show up. Sustainable progress comes from steady, manageable actions over time, not from pushing yourself to the limit every day. One of the reasons the 1% improvement rule is so powerful is that it leverages the compound effect, the idea that small actions accumulate over time to produce massive results. In the early days, the progress might not seem dramatic, but if you keep showing up and improving just 1% every day, you'll see exponential growth. It's similar to the concept of compound interest. Your small efforts build on each other, and the results snowball. The power of momentum can also be seen in habit formation. When you make consistent 1% improvements, those improvements become ingrained in your daily routine. Over time, these habits become automatic, and you no longer have to rely on willpower to keep going. Momentum takes over, and the habit itself drives you forward, with minimal effort required. At this point, the progress becomes almost effortless, and you find yourself naturally moving toward your goals without forcing it. The goal of mastering momentum is to create a system that runs on its own. The 1% improvement rule provides the framework to start that system. Once you begin making small improvements, you'll find that the process of improvement becomes easier and more natural. The initial push might be the hardest part, but once you establish momentum, it becomes a self-sustaining force that powers you toward your long-term goals. By consistently applying the 1% improvement rule, you create a cycle of momentum that propels you forward. You no longer have to rely on external motivation because momentum itself becomes your greatest motivator. The results speak for themselves. What starts as a small, manageable change transforms into unstoppable progress that moves you toward the success you've always wanted. Chapter 6. The 1% Ecosystem. Surround yourself with progress. Success is not something that happens in isolation. It's shaped by the people, environments, and influences that surround you. If you want to see continuous growth, you must consciously curate an ecosystem that supports and amplifies your efforts. In this chapter, we explore how the right environment, both external and internal, plays a pivotal role in sustaining the 1% improvement habit and propelling you toward success. Your ecosystem is made up of everything that surrounds you: the people you interact with, the media you consume, the physical spaces you inhabit, and even the thoughts and beliefs you carry within yourself. All of these factors influence your actions, your mindset, and ultimately your ability to make progress. To build lasting success, you must ensure that your ecosystem nurtures growth rather than hinders it. One of the first and most powerful steps in creating an ecosystem that supports continuous improvement is the people you spend time with. Human beings are social creatures, and our behaviors are deeply influenced by the people around us. This is why it's essential to surround yourself with individuals who inspire, challenge, and encourage you. The right company can lift you up when motivation wanes, push you to go further when you feel like giving up, and provide valuable feedback that accelerates your growth. The people in your life should align with the type of person you are becoming. If you want to grow your business, seek out individuals who have experience in entrepreneurship or are also committed to personal and professional growth. If your goal is to improve your health, surround yourself with people who prioritize fitness and wellness. Being around others who share similar goals or have already achieved what you're striving for can provide the support and guidance you need to stay on track. However, it's not just about the people you choose to spend time with. It's also about creating a physical environment that encourages your growth. The spaces you inhabit have a profound impact on your ability to focus, create, and thrive. If your environment is cluttered, chaotic, or distracting, it becomes more difficult to make steady progress, even if you're dedicated to your goals. This is why it's so important to design your physical space with intention. If you're working from home, create a designated space for productivity, somewhere quiet and organized, with everything you need close at hand. Keep your workspace free from distractions like TV, phone, or social media. If fitness is a part of your 1% improvement plan, make sure you have the right equipment or access to a gym that supports your goals. Whether it's setting up an inspiring home office, organizing your workout gear, or clearing out physical clutter, ensuring that your environment is conducive to your growth will make it easier to stay focused and maintain momentum. But your external environment is only part of the equation. Your internal environment, the mental and emotional space you create for yourself, is equally important in shaping your success. A positive mindset and self-compassion are crucial elements in sustaining the 1% improvement habit. If your internal dialogue is full of negativity, self-doubt, and criticism, it will be much harder to stay committed to your goals. A key part of developing a supportive internal environment is practicing self-awareness. This means taking time to regularly reflect on your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. Are they in alignment with the person you want to become? Are you nurturing your growth, or are you sabotaging it with limiting beliefs? By becoming aware of your internal narrative, you can take control and shift it toward more empowering and supportive thoughts. For example, instead of thinking, "I'm not good enough to succeed," practice reframing your thoughts to, "I am constantly growing and improving." This shift in mindset is critical because the way you see yourself and your abilities directly impacts the actions you take. If you believe that success is inevitable with consistent effort, you'll show up every day with confidence and determination, ready to embrace small improvements. Another key to a supportive internal environment is emotional resilience. Progress often involves setbacks, challenges, and even failure. Without the emotional tools to handle these challenges, you might feel defeated and give up. However, if you cultivate resilience through practices like mindfulness, gratitude, and positive self-talk, you create an emotional environment that allows you to recover quickly and continue moving forward, no matter the obstacles. Your internal environment also includes the beliefs you hold about yourself and the world around you. If you hold a growth mindset, the belief that your abilities and intelligence can be developed with effort and perseverance, you'll be far more likely to stay committed to the 1% improvement rule. People with a fixed mindset, on the other hand, believe that their qualities are set in stone, which makes them more likely to give up when faced with challenges. By fostering a growth mindset, you open the door to continuous improvement and create an internal environment that aligns with your goals. In addition to the people and spaces around you, the information you consume also plays a significant role in shaping your ecosystem. In today's digital age, we're constantly bombarded with content, from social media to news articles to online videos. The information we consume influences our mindset, attitudes, and behaviors, so it's important to be selective about the sources you engage with. If you're working on improving your physical health, for instance, follow people who share valuable science-backed advice on fitness, nutrition, and mental well-being. Avoid the negativity and distractions of mindless scrolling or toxic content that can drain your energy and shift your focus away from your goals. It's also essential to consume content that fuels your personal growth. Listen to podcasts, read books, or watch videos that challenge your thinking, broaden your perspectives, and help you develop the skills and mindset necessary for success. The more you fill your mind with knowledge that aligns with your goals, the easier it will be to make the daily 1% improvements that lead to lasting transformation. Remember that your ecosystem is dynamic and constantly evolving. As you grow, your environment must grow with you. This means periodically reassessing the people you interact with, the spaces you inhabit, and the information you consume. Surround yourself with what serves your growth, and be willing to remove anything or anyone that hinders your progress. By consciously curating an ecosystem that supports your 1% improvement efforts, you ensure that your journey towards success becomes smoother, more enjoyable, and more sustainable. Success is not a solitary endeavor. It's about creating an environment where growth is not only possible, but inevitable. When you build an ecosystem that nurtures your progress, you create the conditions for long-term success and continuous improvement. Chapter 7. Future-proofing your success. 1% better forever. Success is not a one-time event, it is a lifelong journey. The habits and strategies that get you to where you want to be today will not be enough to sustain that success in the future. If you want to ensure your growth doesn't plateau, you need to future-proof your success. This means developing habits and systems that not only support continuous improvement, but also evolve with you as you grow. The 1% improvement rule is your foundation for lifelong success, but how can you adapt it to ensure you're always moving forward, no matter what life throws your way? The first step in future-proofing your success is to embrace the mindset of a lifelong learner. Success doesn't come from mastering a single skill or reaching a single goal. It comes from the continual pursuit of knowledge and growth. By adopting a mindset that always seeks new learning opportunities, you keep your mind open to new experiences and challenges that will stretch your capabilities. This mindset ensures that you're never stagnant and that there's always room for improvement, even when you've reached what others might consider the pinnacle of success. A key component of the lifelong learner mindset is the ability to adapt. The world is constantly changing. New technologies emerge, industries evolve, and the way we work and live continues to shift. If you're committed to improving 1% every day, you must also be committed to evolving along with the world around you. This requires staying curious, seeking out new knowledge, and being willing to step out of your comfort zone. People who embrace change see it as an opportunity for growth rather than a threat to their success. They understand that the world is in a constant state of flux, and they make it a point to stay ahead of the curve by continuously learning and adapting. The 1% improvement rule becomes even more powerful when you view it through the lens of innovation. It's not just about small daily improvements in what you're already doing. It's about innovating and improving in ways that anticipate future challenges. By taking small steps each day to explore new ideas, refine your skills, and expand your knowledge, you set yourself up to stay relevant in an ever-changing world. You don't need to wait for a major crisis or disruption to motivate you to evolve. By continually improving just 1% each day, you ensure that you're always ahead of the curve, always ready to adapt and innovate when new opportunities arise. To truly future-proof your success, you must also focus on building resilience. The road to success is rarely a straight line. Along the way, you'll encounter setbacks, failures, and moments of doubt. Building resilience means learning how to bounce back from challenges and use them as stepping stones rather than obstacles. Resilience is the key to maintaining your momentum when things get tough. Instead of seeing failure as something that defines you, view it as a valuable part of the learning process. Each time you face adversity, ask yourself what you can learn from it and how you can use it to fuel your growth. The more resilient you become, the more capable you will be of handling the inevitable ups and downs that come with long-term success. Another critical element of future-proofing your success is creating systems that support sustainable growth. The 1% improvement rule works because it's sustainable. It doesn't require drastic changes or constant, overwhelming effort. Instead, it's based on small, manageable actions that, over time, add up to significant results. To ensure that you're always improving, you need to establish systems and routines that make this process easier and more automatic. Whether it's a morning routine that primes you for success, a set of daily rituals that keep you grounded, or tools and technology that help you track your progress, creating systems ensures that your 1% improvements happen consistently, no matter what's happening in your life. These systems should not be static. They need to evolve with you. As you reach new milestones, set new goals, and acquire new skills, your systems should adapt to reflect the changes you're experiencing. For example, if you've reached a certain level of fitness, your workout routines should evolve to continue challenging you. If you've achieved a level of professional success, your work habits and strategies should grow to match your new responsibilities. Building flexible systems that scale with your progress allows you to maintain continuous growth, even when the context of your life changes. Long-term vision is another critical aspect of future-proofing your success. Having a clear vision for where you want to go and why it matters gives your daily 1% improvements a sense of direction and purpose. Without a long-term vision, you might find yourself stagnating, unsure of where to focus your energy. A clear vision helps you stay aligned with your core values and reminds you why your incremental improvements matter in the grand scheme of things. It helps you see the bigger picture, even when the day-to-day efforts seem small or insignificant. Your long-term vision should evolve as you grow, reflecting the new goals and dreams you uncover along the way. For instance, you might start out wanting to improve your physical health, but as you progress, you may discover a passion for wellness that leads to broader goals, such as advocating for mental health or starting your own health-related business. As you continue your journey, let your vision expand to accommodate new dreams and aspirations, ensuring that your 1% improvements always have a meaningful and motivating purpose. Collaboration is another powerful tool for future-proofing your success. No one achieves greatness alone. The people you surround yourself with can either lift you up or hold you back, which is why building a supportive network of like-minded individuals is crucial. Collaboration can help you discover new opportunities, gain valuable insights, and find support when facing challenges. Whether it's a mentor, a colleague, or a friend, having people who believe in your vision and encourage your growth makes a significant difference. Collaboration also forces you to stay on your toes. When you're working with others, you're constantly learning, sharing, and adapting, which accelerates your personal and professional development. Embracing the power of reflection is essential in future-proofing your success. Reflection allows you to step back and evaluate your progress, assess what's working, and identify areas for improvement. Regularly reviewing your goals, habits, and achievements helps you stay focused and make necessary adjustments. By reflecting on your journey, you can celebrate your victories, learn from your mistakes, and stay aligned with your long-term vision. As you continue applying the 1% improvement rule, make it a habit to regularly check in with yourself. How far have you come? What challenges have you overcome? What new goals do you want to pursue next? This constant process of reflection and reassessment ensures that you are always evolving and that your success remains sustainable for the long haul. Future-proofing your success means committing to a lifelong journey of growth, learning, and adaptation. By embracing a mindset of continuous improvement, building resilient systems, collaborating with others, and reflecting on your progress, you ensure that your success is not just temporary, but enduring. The 1% improvement rule gives you the foundation, but it's up to you to build a future that continues to grow and expand, no matter what lies ahead. Chapter 8. The Ripple Effect of Success. How your 1% improvement impacts others. Success is not a solitary achievement. It's a ripple that spreads out and impacts the world around you. While your daily 1% improvements are focused on your own growth and personal development, the results of your actions extend far beyond yourself. As you improve, you become a force for positive change in the lives of others, your family, friends, colleagues, and even strangers you encounter. The journey to success, when approached with consistency and integrity, has the power to inspire and uplift those around you, creating a ripple effect that spreads across communities and generations. When you commit to improving just 1% every day, you are not only transforming your own life, but you are also setting an example for others. Your growth becomes an inspiration, showing those around you that change is possible, no matter how small the steps may seem. Every time you push through a challenge, maintain consistency, or learn something new, you send a message to those in your life that progress is achievable. You begin to model the behaviors and mindsets of success, encouraging others to follow suit. This ripple effect can be especially powerful in your immediate circles, your family and friends. By improving yourself, you create a more positive environment around you. For instance, if you work on developing better communication skills, it will naturally improve your relationships with loved ones. If you improve your physical health, you may inspire your family to join you in adopting healthier habits. Even if you don't directly tell them about the changes you're making, your actions speak louder than words. People are drawn to the energy of someone who is actively growing, and they often want to be a part of that energy too. In professional settings, the impact of your 1% improvements can be just as profound. When you consistently show up, improve your skills, and deliver results, you set a standard for those around you. Colleagues may begin to adopt similar habits of improvement, creating a culture of growth within your workplace or industry. As you continue to make small improvements, you inadvertently raise the bar for what success looks like in your environment. People will take notice, and you may become a natural leader, guiding others with your example rather than through direct instruction or authority. Leadership through example is one of the most effective ways to inspire change, and it's accessible to anyone who is committed to personal growth. The impact of your success also extends beyond your immediate circle. As you continue to improve, you might be able to reach a broader audience through social media, public speaking, or other platforms. By sharing your journey and the lessons you learn along the way, you have the potential to influence and inspire a larger community. The beauty of the 1% improvement rule is that it's universally applicable. Whether you're improving your health, finances, creativity, or personal development, the principles you apply can resonate with people from all walks of life. A writer who commits to writing just a few hundred words every day may eventually publish a book. That book could inspire someone in a completely different part of the world to take their own writing journey seriously, sparking their creative potential. A person who commits to improving their fitness by 1% daily may share their progress on social media, leading someone else to begin their own journey toward better health. Each action you take, no matter how small, has the potential to inspire and encourage others to improve as well. The ripple effect of success is also rooted in the power of collective progress. When multiple individuals commit to small daily improvements, the impact can be multiplied. Imagine if an entire community or workplace embraced the 1% improvement rule. The collective energy of individuals striving to improve in their own ways would create a culture of success, productivity, and positivity. When one person improves, they lift others up with them. When several people improve, they create a collective force that's greater than the sum of its parts. One of the most profound ways your success can impact others is through mentorship. As you continue to grow, you may find that people seek you out for guidance, looking to you as a role model or mentor. Mentorship doesn't have to come with a formal title or position. It can simply be about sharing your journey, offering advice, and being a source of support for others. By teaching others the lessons you've learned through your 1% improvements, you pass on the wisdom that has helped you succeed. This kind of mentorship creates a cycle of growth that can continue for generations. The lessons you impart to someone else may help them improve their own life, and in turn, they can share those lessons with others, creating an ever-expanding network of success. Your success also has the power to affect the larger world around you. As you develop your own personal success, you may find ways to give back to the community or contribute to causes that align with your values. The resources, influence, and experience you gain through your own growth can enable you to make a more significant impact on a larger scale. Whether it's through charity work, volunteering, or using your expertise to help others, the changes you make in your life can be leveraged to create positive change in the world. By embracing the 1% improvement philosophy, you inspire a mindset shift in those around you. Rather than focusing on instant gratification or grand achievements, the focus shifts to incremental progress and long-term growth. This is a powerful shift in thinking, one that encourages patience, persistence, and perseverance. It challenges the idea that success comes from dramatic, instant breakthroughs and reinforces the truth that meaningful, sustainable success comes from steady, consistent effort over time. As your success creates a ripple effect, you'll begin to notice that the positive changes you make in your life have a multiplier effect. The small improvements you make each day, whether they're in your mindset, relationships, health, or career, create a broader impact that influences everything around you. Your success doesn't just benefit you, it positively influences the people, communities, and causes you care about. The more you embrace the 1% improvement rule and continue your personal journey of growth, the more you'll see the incredible power of how one person's commitment to progress can transform the lives of many. The ripple effect of success is a testament to the interconnectedness of all things. As you improve, you create waves of influence that reach far beyond your own life. Your growth becomes a catalyst for others to grow, and together you can all contribute to a culture of continuous improvement that spreads across your community and beyond. With each 1% improvement you make, you create a better version of yourself, and in turn, you help create a better world for those around you. Chapter 9. The Legacy of Continuous Improvement, Creating a Lasting Impact. When most people think of legacy, they often think of monumental achievements, huge accomplishments or grand gestures that leave a mark on history. However, what if the most powerful legacy you could leave isn't one of extraordinary moments, but one of consistent, incremental progress? What if your legacy could be a reflection of your daily commitment to improvement, a ripple effect that continues to impact generations long after you're gone? In this chapter, we explore how continuous improvement, by focusing on just 1% better every day, can not only transform your life, but create a lasting legacy that impacts others in profound and meaningful ways. Your legacy isn't just defined by the tangible outcomes of your work or the successes you achieve, but by the person you become in the process. Every time you show up for yourself, commit to improving just 1% each day and push through challenges with resilience. You are contributing to a legacy of growth, perseverance, and purpose. This legacy is built not just through big accomplishments, but through the daily habits, attitudes, and actions that shape who you are and how you interact with the world. In a world that often celebrates instant success and overnight fame, it can be easy to overlook the power of long-term consistency. Yet, when we look at some of the most successful individuals, whether in business, sports, or personal development, we often find that their success is the result of years of consistent, incremental effort. The legacy they leave behind isn't just the result of one big breakthrough, but of countless small, dedicated actions taken over time. Their greatness wasn't born from a singular moment of success. It was forged through their daily commitment to becoming just 1% better. By embracing the principle of continuous improvement, you are setting the foundation for a legacy that is sustainable, one that lasts far beyond your own lifetime. Unlike short-lived successes that burn brightly and quickly fade, the legacy of gradual progress is timeless. When you focus on improving 1% every day, you create a lasting impact that continues to grow even after you're gone. It's like planting seeds that, over time, grow into trees that shade future generations. Your consistent effort becomes the foundation on which others can build their own success, creating a ripple effect of growth that stretches far beyond what you could ever accomplish alone. One of the most profound ways your legacy can live on is through the people you inspire. As you continue to improve yourself, you may find that you become a role model for others, whether they're friends, family members, colleagues, or even strangers. Your story of persistence and dedication can inspire others to adopt the same mindset and commit to their own growth. By showing others that success isn't about perfection or massive breakthroughs, but about the small, consistent steps we take every day, you become an example of what's possible when we focus on continuous improvement. Through your actions, you help shift the mindset of those around you, from focusing on immediate results to embracing the power of gradual progress. This shift in perspective can transform entire communities, workplaces, and even industries. As you model this mindset of continuous improvement, you encourage others to do the same. In turn, they pass it on to others, creating a network of individuals committed to lifelong learning and growth. The legacy you leave isn't just personal, it's collective, affecting generations to come. Another powerful aspect of your legacy is how it extends through the systems and habits you build. When you commit to making 1% improvements every day, you don't just improve your own life, you create systems that support your growth. These systems, whether they're related to your health, work, relationships, or personal development, become a part of your daily life and your family, community, or organization. As you pass these systems on, either directly or indirectly, you help others adopt similar habits, ensuring that the impact of your efforts multiplies. If you adopt a habit of daily reflection and self-assessment, you not only improve your own decision-making and personal growth, but also create a model for others to follow. Your children may adopt this habit and pass it down to their own families. Your colleagues or friends may incorporate similar practices into their daily routines, and your influence spreads as these systems help others create their own pathways to success. The legacy of positive habits and systems of growth will continue to influence the lives of others long after you're no longer there to guide them. Your legacy is also about the values you instill through your commitment to continuous improvement. The values of perseverance, resilience, curiosity, and self-discipline are woven into the very fabric of the 1% improvement rule. When you dedicate yourself to consistent growth, you embody these values, and they become the principles that guide your actions. The values you live by become a part of your legacy, something that others notice, admire, and eventually adopt as their own. When you focus on the 1% improvement rule, you create a culture of growth around you. Whether it's within your family, community, or workplace, this culture encourages others to believe that growth is possible no matter where they start. It breaks the myth that success is reserved for the few and shows that anyone, regardless of their background or current situation, can achieve greatness by committing to daily progress. Your legacy becomes one of empowerment, showing others that their future is not limited by their past or present, but shaped by the small, deliberate choices they make each day. One of the most impactful ways your legacy continues to thrive is through the long-term impact on society. As you commit to becoming 1% better every day, you might find that your actions influence broader social change. Whether it's through your work, your volunteer efforts, or the way you engage with your community, you begin to create a ripple effect that impacts not just your immediate circle, but society at large. By prioritizing continuous improvement, you contribute to a culture that values learning, adaptability, and progress, helping to shape a future that is better for everyone. As you reflect on the impact of your journey, it's important to recognize that your legacy is a dynamic, evolving process. Just as you grow and improve every day, so too does your legacy. It's not something that is set in stone or defined by a single moment, but rather something that evolves as you continue your journey of self-improvement. Each day you take a step toward becoming better is a day you are building a legacy that will continue to inspire and influence others long after you're gone. Your commitment to continuous improvement is not just about reaching your personal goals. It's about creating a lasting impact that elevates others. By improving 1% every day, you are not just changing your own life. You are creating a legacy of growth, empowerment, and possibility for future generations. The small steps you take today are the foundation for a future that is brighter, better, and more prosperous for everyone who follows in your footsteps. Your legacy will be one that lives on, not just in the achievements you've made, but in the lives you've touched, the communities you've influenced, and the generations you've inspired. Chapter 10. The Journey Never Ends, Embracing the Infinite Possibilities of Continuous Improvement. Success, growth, and self-improvement are not finite goals. They are an ongoing journey. The most profound realization that comes with adopting the 1% improvement rule is understanding that the process of becoming better never truly ends. No matter how much you achieve or how far you've come, there's always room for more growth, more learning, and more evolution. This chapter is about embracing the infinite possibilities that come with committing to continuous improvement. Once you accept that growth is a lifelong process, you unlock the true power of the 1% rule. Many people make the mistake of thinking that success is a destination, a final point where they can say, "I've made it." However, this belief often leads to burnout and frustration when they inevitably face new challenges or feel like they've plateaued. The reality is that success is a never-ending journey, one that evolves as you evolve. The moment you stop striving for improvement is the moment you stop growing, and that's when progress begins to stagnate. By adopting the 1% improvement rule, you open yourself up to the idea that there's always more to learn, more to do, and more to achieve. No matter how much you accomplish, there's always another level to reach, another skill to master, or a new aspect of yourself to discover. This mindset shift turns every challenge into an opportunity for growth and every obstacle into a lesson. It reframes setbacks and failures not as signs of defeat, but as stepping stones on your path toward continuous improvement. The beauty of continuous improvement is that it's adaptive and scalable. As your life and goals evolve, so too can your approach to growth. The 1% rule is flexible. It can be applied to any area of your life at any stage. Whether you're in the midst of a career transition, trying to improve your health, or striving for personal development, the 1% improvement rule meets you where you are. It allows you to adapt to new circumstances, tackle fresh challenges, and pursue new goals without feeling overwhelmed or stuck. For example, as your career advances, the skills and habits you developed early on may need to be refined or adapted to meet new challenges. The same 1% improvement approach can be used to learn new technical skills, adapt to changing work environments, or cultivate new leadership qualities. As your personal life evolves, the 1% rule allows you to maintain balance by consistently improving in areas like communication, mindfulness, and relationships. The key is to never stop improving, no matter how much you've already accomplished. Another powerful aspect of continuous improvement is the mindset shift from perfection to progress. When you adopt the 1% improvement rule, you free yourself from the pressure of achieving perfection. It's not about being flawless or flawless performance. It's about getting a little bit better each day. This mindset helps you avoid the trap of perfectionism, which often leads to procrastination, fear of failure, and self-doubt. Perfectionism can paralyze you from taking action, whereas continuous improvement empowers you to take small, consistent steps forward without the weight of unrealistic expectations. This shift also has profound effects on your mental and emotional well-being. When you focus on small improvements instead of large, overwhelming goals, you create a sense of accomplishment each day. This daily sense of progress builds confidence and boosts motivation, making it easier to stay committed to your long-term vision. Furthermore, embracing the journey of continuous improvement helps reduce the anxiety and stress that can come with trying to achieve perfection. You can let go of the need to get everything right and focus instead on making steady progress, one step at a time. The concept of continuous improvement enhances your ability to embrace change. Change is inevitable, and as the world shifts around you, your ability to adapt will be one of your greatest assets. The 1% rule teaches you to approach change with curiosity and resilience, seeing it not as an obstacle, but as an opportunity to grow. Whether it's learning a new technology, adjusting to a new job role, or navigating life transitions, the 1% improvement mindset allows you to embrace change with confidence. You become someone who doesn't shy away from new challenges, but looks forward to them, knowing that even the smallest step forward will move you closer to your goals. Another critical aspect of the journey of continuous improvement is the power of incremental consistency. When you commit to getting just 1% better every day, you begin to see the cumulative power of those small improvements. Over time, they add up to significant progress. Think about the long-term impact of investing small amounts of time and energy into a project or goal every day. You may not see immediate results, but as time goes on, you'll look back and be amazed at how far you've come. The journey of continuous improvement is about recognizing the importance of small wins and celebrating each day's progress as part of a larger, lifelong goal. The 1% improvement rule also encourages a shift toward deliberate practice. Rather than relying on random, unstructured efforts, you begin to approach your goals with more intentionality. Deliberate practice is about identifying areas of weakness and committing to improving them step by step. It's not about simply repeating an activity or task. It's about refining your skills, increasing your knowledge, and challenging yourself to improve. This approach ensures that your progress is sustainable and purposeful, and it fosters a deeper level of mastery in whatever you pursue. One of the most rewarding aspects of continuous improvement is the sense of fulfillment that comes with the journey itself. As you make steady progress, you build a sense of purpose and meaning in your life. The 1% rule teaches you that success isn't just about reaching a specific goal. It's about enjoying the process of becoming better, of growing and evolving in every area of your life. This mindset shift allows you to find fulfillment not just in the destination but in the journey. It encourages you to enjoy each step along the way, knowing that every action, no matter how small, contributes to your personal development. Ultimately, embracing continuous improvement is about unlocking your fullest potential. When you commit to getting just 1% better every day, you take control of your life's trajectory. You create the conditions for ongoing growth and evolution. The journey never ends because you understand that growth is infinite. There's always more to learn, more to experience, and more to achieve. With the 1% improvement rule as your guide, the possibilities are limitless. The beauty of the 1% improvement journey is that it empowers you to take ownership of your success and to continue pushing the boundaries of what's possible. As you focus on getting better every day, you develop the habits, mindsets, and resilience that ensure your journey of growth never stops. You move from a fixed destination to an infinite process of self-improvement, unlocking the doors to endless possibilities. And in doing so, you not only transform your own life, you become a living example of what's possible when you embrace the power of continuous improvement. Chapter 11. The Unseen Forces of Consistency. How small efforts multiply over time. At first glance, the small improvements you make each day may seem insignificant. Whether it's a few minutes spent reading, an extra set at the gym, or a brief moment of mindfulness, these actions can feel trivial in isolation. However, as time passes, the true power of these small efforts begins to reveal itself in ways you may not expect. In this chapter, we dive into the unseen forces behind consistency, the subtle yet powerful forces that turn small actions into significant long-term outcomes. One of the most powerful aspects of the 1% improvement rule is the cumulative effect. What begins as a seemingly small, harmless effort quickly compounds over time, leading to exponential growth. Consider the example of saving money. If you set aside just a few dollars every day, you may not notice much of a difference right away. But after a few months, a year, or even 5 years, those small amounts of money add up to a substantial sum. The same principle applies to any area of your life. Whether you're improving your health, skills, or mindset, the cumulative effect of small daily actions can lead to outcomes that far exceed the initial effort. The science behind this is rooted in compound growth, a concept that shows how small changes, when made consistently, can lead to massive results over time. This principle is often seen in finance, where interest compounds on savings or investments. However, it applies to virtually every aspect of life. A small change made today may not seem to matter much in the moment, but when repeated over time, it leads to dramatic results. The key here is the long-term commitment to those small changes, no matter how insignificant they might feel. This compounding effect is also why consistency is so much more powerful than intensity. Many people set out to make significant changes, attempting to overhaul their entire life in one go. However, this approach often leads to burnout and discouragement. Instead of aiming for massive changes, the 1% rule encourages you to focus on steady, consistent progress. By making incremental improvements, you avoid the exhaustion of drastic shifts and create a sustainable path toward your goals. Another crucial element of consistent improvement is the role of momentum. Once you start making consistent efforts, it becomes easier to keep going. Momentum acts as a catalyst, propelling you forward even when you feel tired, discouraged, or unmotivated. The consistency of your actions creates a sense of progress that fuels your drive to continue. Every small win builds upon the previous one, and this snowball effect makes it easier to keep moving toward your ultimate goal. However, momentum is not always easy to maintain. There will be times when progress feels slow, or when it seems like your efforts aren't paying off. In these moments, it's important to remember that the compound effect is working behind the scenes. While you might not see immediate results, every small action is adding up, creating the foundation for bigger breakthroughs down the road. Just because you can't see the impact of your efforts in the moment doesn't mean that progress isn't happening. Consistency also fosters deep learning and mastery. When you commit to making small daily improvements, you give yourself the space to learn gradually and without pressure. It's through this consistent effort that you gain mastery over a skill, habit, or area of your life. Rather than forcing yourself to learn everything at once or expecting immediate perfection, consistency allows you to develop expertise incrementally. As you get better and more comfortable with the process, your improvement accelerates, and mastery becomes not only attainable but inevitable. This daily practice also creates increased resilience. When you make consistent efforts, even in small ways, you build mental and emotional strength. Over time, you become more capable of handling setbacks and challenges without giving up. Resilience doesn't come from making a grand leap forward. It comes from showing up every day, even when things are tough, and doing your best in the moment. This sense of persistence, fueled by consistent action, builds a character that is unshaken by adversity. As a result, you not only become better at what you do, but also better at navigating the inevitable challenges that come with pursuing your goals. There's also the aspect of habit formation. Small actions repeated consistently turn into habits, and habits, in turn, shape our identities. When you commit to making a 1% improvement every day, you create positive habits that over time become a natural part of your life. These habits are what drive your success. Once a habit is formed, it becomes automatic, requiring little to no effort to maintain. This shift from effortful action to automatic behavior makes progress feel effortless and sustainable, allowing you to keep improving without the constant strain of trying to push yourself. The power of consistency also lies in the psychological rewards it provides. When you see small improvements over time, you start to build a sense of accomplishment. Even on the days when you're not feeling your best, consistent progress gives you a reason to feel proud. This pride and satisfaction feed into your motivation, helping you stay committed to your growth. The more consistent you are, the more you internalize the belief that success is attainable, and the more likely you are to continue striving for that 1% improvement. Over time, the impact of your small actions begins to radiate outward, affecting all areas of your life. As you improve in one area, be it physical health, emotional well-being, or intellectual growth, you'll begin to notice positive changes in other aspects of your life as well. Success is not confined to one aspect of your life, but is interconnected across all domains. A healthier lifestyle can boost your energy, making you more productive at work or more present in your relationships. Improved mental clarity can enhance your decision-making, leading to better outcomes in both personal and professional realms. One of the most profound effects of consistent improvement is that it shapes your future in ways you can't predict. While you may have a specific goal in mind when you start your journey, you'll likely discover new opportunities, interests, and talents along the way. The act of consistently improving each day opens doors to possibilities you might not have seen at the start. It creates a future that is rich with opportunities for growth, success, and fulfillment. Ultimately, the power of consistency lies in the gradual yet profound transformation it creates. Small efforts, repeated consistently, can lead to results that are far beyond what you initially imagined. This transformation happens not in a single leap, but in the quiet, daily steps that accumulate over time. The beauty of the 1% improvement rule is that it allows you to stay focused on the process, trusting that the compound effect of small actions will eventually deliver extraordinary results. In embracing the unseen forces of consistency, you unlock a path to success that is sustainable, fulfilling, and deeply impactful. The small efforts you make today are the building blocks for a better tomorrow. Trust in the process, keep showing up, and watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. The power of consistency is not just in the outcomes, it's in the quiet, consistent progress that leads to lasting change. Chapter 12. Unlocking your full potential. The power of belief in the 1% improvement journey. The journey to continuous improvement is not just about taking action, it's also about the belief you hold in your own potential. The power of belief is a critical, often overlooked element in the 1% improvement process. Your belief system shapes how you approach challenges, how you view your progress, and how much effort you're willing to put into your growth. In this chapter, we explore how unlocking your full potential starts with developing an unwavering belief in yourself and in the power of small, consistent actions. The foundation of success begins with a simple yet powerful concept. You are capable of more than you realize. Your potential is not limited by your past, your circumstances, or even your current abilities. It is shaped by your mindset, and most importantly, by your belief in your own capacity to improve. Belief is the catalyst that turns potential into action. Without belief, the 1% improvement rule will feel like a task you're working toward, rather than a natural way of life. With belief, even the smallest steps become powerful because you see them as part of your larger journey toward greatness. Self-doubt is one of the greatest obstacles to success, but it can be overcome with a shift in mindset. Many people struggle to take consistent action because they question their ability to succeed. They may look at their goals and feel overwhelmed by the distance between where they are and where they want to be. But here's the truth. No one ever reaches success in one giant leap. Success is built on the foundation of small, incremental improvements. Every time you improve by just 1%, you are gradually closing the gap between where you are and where you want to be. Believing in this process, and in your ability to follow through with it, is the key to unlocking your full potential. The belief that small actions can lead to big results is central to the 1% improvement philosophy. When you believe in the power of small steps, you start to see the potential for growth in every moment. Instead of waiting for the perfect time or for a big breakthrough, you begin to take consistent, focused action every day. This belief in incremental progress eliminates the need for immediate, dramatic results and allows you to stay committed to the long-term journey. With belief in your ability to improve, each day becomes a stepping stone to a better version of yourself. Belief is also an essential element in overcoming setbacks. As you pursue your goals and strive for improvement, there will inevitably be challenges along the way. These setbacks might come in the form of mistakes, failures, or moments when progress feels slow. But when you believe in your ability to learn from these setbacks, they become opportunities for growth rather than signs of defeat. Every setback is simply feedback, telling you what you need to adjust or improve in order to continue moving forward. By believing that every failure is a part of the process, You build resilience and strengthen your commitment to the 1% improvement rule. Moreover, belief in yourself is not just about seeing the potential in your actions, it's about recognizing the power of your mindset. The way you think about yourself shapes the actions you take. If you see yourself as someone who is always growing, always learning and always improving, you naturally take more action toward your goals. This belief allows you to set higher standards for yourself, not out of pressure, but out of a deep understanding that growth is inevitable when you commit to it. You begin to expect progress, knowing that no matter what happens, you will continue to improve 1% every day. Growth is not linear, and it's important to understand that progress often takes unexpected paths. At times, you might feel like you're plateauing, or that the results of your efforts aren't immediately visible. This is where belief plays a crucial role in maintaining consistency. When you believe that growth is inevitable, you don't let short-term challenges deter you. You trust the process, knowing that your small daily efforts will eventually compound into significant progress. Just because you can't see the results right away doesn't mean that you're not moving forward. Belief in your potential is also what drives you to keep setting new goals and challenges. The more you improve, the more you realize what you're capable of, and this fuels further growth. The journey of 1% improvement doesn't stop once you've reached a certain level of success. It evolves and expands. When you believe that there is always room for improvement, you open yourself up to endless possibilities. The more you grow, the more you see new areas for growth, and you continue to raise the bar for yourself. A critical part of unlocking your full potential is embracing the power of self-compassion. Growth doesn't mean perfection, and along the journey, you will make mistakes and experience setbacks. It's essential to treat yourself with kindness and patience when things don't go according to plan. Belief in yourself includes believing that you are worthy of progress, even when you slip up. Self-compassion allows you to continue on your journey without being derailed by self-criticism. It reminds you that failure is a part of success, and it gives you the courage to keep moving forward with confidence. One of the most effective ways to strengthen your belief in yourself is to celebrate small wins. Every time you take a step forward, no matter how minor it may seem, celebrate it. These small celebrations reinforce your belief in the process and remind you that success is achieved through consistent effort. Over time, these small victories will build your confidence and deepen your belief in your own ability to succeed. They serve as reminders that you are indeed making progress, and that each day is an opportunity to get closer to your full potential. Belief also plays a central role in the way you interact with others. When you believe in your own potential, it's easier to believe in the potential of others. This belief creates a ripple effect as you begin to encourage and inspire those around you to pursue their own growth. You create an environment where growth and improvement are valued, not only for yourself, but for everyone involved. The belief in your own potential becomes a shared belief, spreading motivation and inspiration to others in your life. The power of belief is the fuel that keeps you moving toward your goals, even on the days when progress feels slow. By unlocking your belief in yourself and the power of consistent, incremental improvement, you tap into an unlimited source of motivation. The 1% improvement rule becomes not just a way of achieving success, it becomes a mindset that unlocks your full potential and helps you continue growing for the rest of your life. Ultimately, the key to success is not just about the actions you take, but the belief that those actions matter. When you believe that every small step brings you closer to your fullest potential, you transform your entire approach to life. You begin to see the possibilities in every day, knowing that with consistent effort and unwavering belief, there's no limit to what you can achieve. Chapter 13. The Power of Reflection. How looking back accelerates forward progress. In the pursuit of continuous improvement, it's easy to get caught up in the hustle of always moving forward, always working, always striving for the next goal. But in the midst of this forward momentum, it's crucial to pause and take time to reflect. Reflection is not just about looking back, it's about using the past to fuel your future growth. It's about understanding where you've been, what you've learned, and how you can use that knowledge to accelerate your journey towards success. In this chapter, we explore the power of reflection and how it can unlock deeper insights, reveal hidden opportunities, and supercharge your ongoing progress. Reflection is often seen as a passive activity, but it's anything but that. Reflection is an active, intentional process that involves examining your actions, experiences, and mindset with the goal of understanding and improving. When you take time to reflect, you give yourself the opportunity to assess what's working and what isn't, to identify patterns, and to refine your approach. Rather than mindlessly moving from one task to the next, you pause to ask yourself important questions. What have I learned? What could I do differently? How can I apply these insights to the next step? One of the most profound benefits of reflection is that it helps you gain clarity about your goals and your progress. Often, when you're focused on daily tasks and small improvements, it can be hard to see the bigger picture. You might be putting in consistent effort, but without reflection, you might not recognize the progress you've made. By taking a moment to look back, you can clearly see how far you've come. This clarity reinforces your belief in the process, boosts your motivation, and helps you stay aligned with your long-term vision. Reflection also provides valuable insights into the strategies and habits that are truly driving your progress. Sometimes, despite our best efforts, certain actions or habits don't produce the results we expect. When you reflect on your daily practices, you can identify what's working and what's not. For example, if you've been working on improving your productivity but aren't seeing the results you want, reflection allows you to assess your methods. Are your tasks aligned with your larger goals? Are there more effective strategies you can implement? By asking these types of questions, you can refine your approach and ensure that your actions are always working toward the right outcomes. Moreover, reflection allows you to celebrate your wins, no matter how small they may seem. Often, when we're focused on achieving the next goal, we overlook the progress we've already made. The 1% improvement rule is about daily steps, and sometimes those steps don't feel like much in the moment. But when you take the time to look back and reflect on your growth, you begin to appreciate just how far you've come. Celebrating these small victories not only boosts your morale, but also reinforces the idea that every step counts and contributes to your overall success. Reflection turns the act of improvement into a source of motivation, rather than something you just check off a list. In addition to looking at what's working, reflection also helps you learn from your mistakes. Failure and setbacks are inevitable on the path to success, but they don't have to be roadblocks. In fact, they can be some of the most powerful learning experiences you'll have. When you reflect on your mistakes, you're able to identify what went wrong, what you could have done differently, and how you can apply those lessons moving forward. Failure becomes a valuable tool for growth, not a reason to give up. Reflection helps you transform setbacks into stepping stones for future success. Another powerful aspect of reflection is that it helps you cultivate a growth mindset. By consistently reviewing your progress, you reinforce the belief that you can improve over time. The more you reflect on your journey, the more you realize that success is not a one-time event, but a process of continuous learning and growth. This mindset shift is crucial for staying motivated, especially on the days when you feel like you're not making significant progress. Reflection reminds you that growth takes time, and that even small improvements add up to something significant over time. Reflection also encourages self-awareness, which is key to personal growth. When you make the time to reflect, you become more attuned to your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. You begin to understand your strengths and weaknesses, as well as the patterns and habits that shape your actions. This increased self-awareness helps you make more conscious decisions about how to spend your time and energy. You start to make more intentional choices, focusing on activities that align with your goals and values. Self-awareness empowers you to take full ownership of your growth and success. Incorporating reflection into your routine doesn't require hours of deep introspection. Even brief moments of reflection can be incredibly impactful. Whether it's journaling for a few minutes each day, taking a few quiet moments at the end of the day to think about your actions, or simply pausing to ask yourself what went well and what could be improved, these small moments of reflection compound over time. The key is to make it a regular practice, something that becomes as routine as the 1% improvements you make each day. Reflection also provides the opportunity to adjust your goals and strategies as needed. As you progress, your goals may shift, or you may uncover new opportunities that require different approaches. Reflection helps you stay flexible and adapt to changing circumstances. You may find that some goals are no longer relevant or that you've outgrown them, while others may need to be redefined or expanded. This adaptability ensures that your journey of improvement is always aligned with your evolving aspirations. Reflection is the key to maintaining a sense of purpose and direction. Without taking time to reflect, it's easy to get caught up in the day-to-day grind, losing sight of why you started in the first place. Reflection helps you reconnect with your deeper motivations, reminding you of your why. When you're clear on your purpose, it's easier to stay focused and committed, even when obstacles arise or progress feels slow. By integrating reflection into your daily routine, you create a powerful feedback loop that accelerates your growth. Each day's 1% improvement becomes an opportunity for learning, celebration, and adaptation. Reflection not only enhances your progress, but also deepens your understanding of the process itself, helping you move forward with greater clarity, purpose, and confidence. The beauty of reflection is that it's not a one-time activity. It's an ongoing part of your journey. As you continue making small improvements, you'll continue to reflect, adjust, and refine your approach. This cyclical process of improvement and reflection creates a dynamic, evolving path towards success. By embracing the power of reflection, you ensure that your 1% improvement journey is not just about reaching a destination, but about evolving, learning, and growing along the way. Chapter 14. Mastering Patience: How to Trust the Process of Incremental Growth. In a world that often celebrates instant results and rapid success, mastering the art of patience is one of the most powerful tools you can have in your journey toward continuous improvement. The 1% improvement rule is a long-term approach, one that requires you to trust in the process and allow small, consistent actions to build over time. Patience, in this context, is not about waiting passively for success to come. It's about staying committed to the process, even when results aren't immediately visible. In this chapter, we explore how to cultivate patience, overcome the urge for instant gratification, and embrace the slow, steady path to lasting success. Patience is often misunderstood as simply enduring a situation without frustration, but it is much more than that. Patience is an active state of trust and commitment to the process, even when the end result feels distant. The 1% improvement rule requires patience because progress is often not linear and visible every day. There will be moments when your efforts seem small and your results appear insignificant. However, Patience teaches you to trust that the cumulative effect of your small actions will eventually lead to profound change. It's the understanding that progress doesn't happen overnight, but through consistent effort, no matter how small. One of the biggest obstacles to practicing patience is the desire for immediate results. In the age of instant access to information, services, and products, we are conditioned to expect quick fixes and instant gratification. Social media and advertising often reinforce this desire for speed, showcasing people who seem to achieve success overnight. This creates an unrealistic expectation that progress should be fast and visible. However, true growth, whether it's in your personal life, career, health, or relationships, is rarely a result of one sudden, dramatic breakthrough. Instead, it's the culmination of countless small, steady actions made consistently over time. Patience allows you to reframe your thinking from instant results to long-term rewards. When you trust that small, incremental improvements are enough to get you where you want to go, you begin to embrace the journey instead of obsessing over the destination. The process itself becomes the reward. Each small step you take builds momentum, and while you may not see the fruits of your labor immediately, you can be confident that you're moving in the right direction. With patience, you learn to enjoy the progress you're making, even if it feels slow at times. The key to mastering patience is developing a mindset of long-term vision. When you focus solely on immediate results, it's easy to become discouraged if things don't happen quickly. However, when you shift your focus to the long-term vision, your ultimate goal or purpose, you can more easily stay the course. For instance, if you're working on building a business, the early days may feel like progress is minimal. You may not see the massive growth you're hoping for, but by trusting in the process, you remind yourself that growth takes time, and that every effort is a building block toward your ultimate vision. An important part of embracing patience is also acknowledging the small wins along the way. While big milestones are often celebrated in our culture, it's the small victories that make all the difference in the long run. By focusing on these daily improvements, no matter how small, you build a habit of gratitude and appreciation for the progress you've already made. This helps to reinforce your commitment to the process, even when big results are still a distant goal. For example, if you're working on improving your fitness, the scale might not show dramatic changes right away, but every workout, every healthy meal, and every positive choice you make is a small win that leads to eventual transformation. Patience also means embracing setbacks as a natural part of the growth process. There will be days when you feel like you've taken 2 steps backward for every step forward. These setbacks might cause frustration or self-doubt, and it's easy to want to give up or abandon your goals. However, patience teaches you that setbacks are not failures, they're part of the journey. They are the moments when you learn, adjust, and grow stronger. The most successful people in life are not those who avoided setbacks, but those who remained patient and persistent, using each setback as an opportunity to refine their approach and continue moving forward. Another way to cultivate patience is by embracing consistency over perfection. Perfectionism often leads to burnout and discouragement because it sets an unattainable standard. When you strive for perfection, you may find yourself getting frustrated with small mistakes or imperfections, ultimately derailing your progress. Patience allows you to let go of the need for everything to be perfect. Instead, you focus on doing the best you can each day, knowing that incremental improvement is enough. This mindset frees you from the stress of trying to get everything right and allows you to stay consistent in your efforts. The process of incremental improvement is also closely tied to self-compassion. When you practice patience, you learn to be kind to yourself on the days when progress feels slow. Rather than beating yourself up for not achieving more, you acknowledge that you are doing your best and that every small step counts. Self-compassion helps you stay patient because it reminds you that growth takes time and that it's okay to have days when things don't go as planned. By treating yourself with kindness and understanding, you create a supportive environment for long-term growth and success. Patience is essential when it comes to maintaining a balanced life. The 1% improvement rule encourages you to make steady progress, but it doesn't mean you should push yourself to the point of exhaustion. Patience reminds you that success is not just about achieving more. It's also about creating a life that is sustainable and fulfilling. Sometimes this means taking a break, resting, and giving yourself time to recharge. By practicing patience, you recognize that your journey is a marathon, not a sprint, and that lasting success requires balance and well-being. As you continue your journey of growth, remember that patience is a practice, one that you cultivate over time. The more you embrace patience, the more natural it becomes to trust the process, stay committed to your goals, and find fulfillment in the journey itself. Every small improvement, every step forward, and every lesson learned is a testament to your patience and perseverance. When you trust that the process will lead to success, no matter how slow it seems, you unlock the power of long-term, sustainable growth. By mastering patience, you transform your approach to success from one of urgency and frustration to one of calm, steady commitment. You become more resilient, more focused, and more capable of handling the ups and downs of life. With patience as your ally, the 1% improvement rule becomes not just a path to success, but a lifelong journey of growth, purpose, and fulfillment. Chapter 15. Embracing Change. How the 1% improvement rule prepares you for life's transformations. Change is inevitable. It is the one constant in life, whether it's in your personal growth, career, relationships, or the world around you. The ability to embrace and adapt to change is one of the most important skills you can cultivate on your journey toward success. The 1% improvement rule prepares you for these changes, equipping you with the mindset, resilience, and strategies needed to thrive in times of transformation. In this chapter, we explore how small, incremental improvements help you navigate change with confidence, and how embracing change becomes an integral part of your growth process. One of the greatest fears many people have is the fear of change. Whether it's the fear of leaving a familiar job, moving to a new place, or transitioning into a new phase of life, change can be unsettling. Often people resist change because they fear the unknown, worry about failure, or feel insecure about their ability to adapt. The 1% improvement rule, however, encourages you to focus on small steps, manageable changes that don't overwhelm you, but gradually prepare you for bigger shifts. Rather than facing a massive transformation all at once, you embrace change one small step at a time, which allows you to stay grounded and adaptable as life evolves. The beauty of small, consistent improvement is that it builds the skills and mindset needed to handle larger changes. As you make tiny daily adjustments in your habits, mindset, and actions, you become more comfortable with change. You begin to see change not as something to fear, but as an opportunity for growth. This shift in perspective makes it easier to face challenges head-on, knowing that every change you encounter is simply a new chance to improve, adapt, and move forward. With each small step, you build a mental and emotional toolkit that enables you to approach change with confidence and resilience. One of the most profound aspects of the 1% improvement rule is how it encourages adaptability. Change is often unpredictable, and the pace at which it occurs can vary greatly. However, by committing to small, consistent improvements, you are always preparing for whatever comes next. These incremental changes increase your capacity for learning, problem-solving, and innovation, skills that are invaluable when life throws unexpected challenges your way. You may not always know exactly what the future holds, but by constantly improving, you make yourself more capable of navigating it, no matter how uncertain it may seem. In addition to adaptability, the 1% improvement rule also helps you cultivate resilience in the face of change. Change is not always easy or smooth. Sometimes it's accompanied by setbacks, challenges, or feelings of discomfort. However, when you approach life with the mindset of continuous improvement, you begin to see resilience not as a trait that you're either born with or not, but as a skill that can be developed. Every time you encounter difficulty and keep pushing forward, even in small ways, you strengthen your ability to persevere through change. The 1% rule teaches you that resilience doesn't mean avoiding failure or difficulty. It means facing them head-on, learning from them, and using them to fuel your progress. The key to building resilience is to embrace discomfort. Change often brings with it discomfort, whether it's learning a new skill, adjusting to a new environment, or facing an uncertain future. Many people avoid discomfort because it feels unpleasant. However, the 1% improvement mindset teaches you to view discomfort as a sign of growth rather than something to avoid. When you embrace discomfort and commit to small improvements, even in challenging situations, you begin to see change not as something that holds you back, but as something that propels you forward. Small, consistent improvements also foster a sense of control in the face of change. When the world around you feels out of control or overwhelming, focusing on small actions that are within your control can provide a sense of stability. The 1% improvement rule allows you to take charge of your own growth, even when external circumstances are uncertain. By committing to your own progress, you create a sense of agency in your life, which helps you stay grounded as change occurs around you. You may not be able to control everything that happens, but you can always control your response to it, and small improvements give you the tools to do so effectively. As you continue on your journey of 1% improvement, you will begin to recognize the patterns of growth in your own life. Change often feels chaotic or overwhelming when you don't have a framework for understanding it. But as you look back on your progress, you can see how small changes over time have prepared you for the larger transformations. Whether it's a career shift, a personal transformation, or a major life event, the skills, habits, and mindset you've developed through incremental improvement have given you the tools you need to thrive in these changes. Recognizing these patterns also helps you appreciate how far you've come and gives you confidence in your ability to continue evolving. Embracing change also means embracing uncertainty. When you commit to the 1% improvement rule, you understand that the future is unknown and that progress is often unpredictable. You may not always know exactly how things will unfold, but you trust the process. You trust that every small effort you make today is contributing to a larger, unknown outcome. This trust allows you to move forward with less fear and anxiety about what's to come. Instead of focusing on the uncertainty of change, you focus on the certainty of your daily progress and the power of consistent action. As you face life's inevitable changes, you will come to realize that change itself is a tool for growth. The 1% improvement rule helps you see change as an ally in your personal development. Without change, there would be no opportunity for growth. By viewing change as a catalyst for improvement, you shift from fearing it to embracing it. Each new change is an opportunity to apply what you've learned, to evolve further, and to discover new strengths within yourself. One of the most empowering aspects of embracing change is the ability to create your own future. With the foundation of continuous improvement, you are not a passive recipient of life's changes. You become an active participant in shaping your future. The more you embrace the 1% rule and commit to your personal growth, the more you realize that you have the power to shape your own path. Change becomes something you drive, not something you react to. You create the conditions for your own success, and with each small step, you build a future that aligns with your vision. The 1% improvement rule is more than just a strategy for personal development. It is a mindset that prepares you for life's inevitable changes. By embracing small, consistent improvements, you build the resilience, adaptability, and confidence needed to thrive in any transformation. When you trust in the process, embrace discomfort, and focus on your ongoing growth, you become empowered to navigate change with grace and purpose. Change no longer becomes something to fear. It becomes an essential part of your journey toward greatness. As we come to the end of this journey, it's important to reflect on the transformative power of the 1% improvement rule. The idea of getting 1% better every day may seem deceptively simple, but as we've explored throughout this book, it is a profound and powerful strategy for achieving long-term success. It's not about making dramatic changes overnight or seeking perfection. It's about embracing small, consistent actions that accumulate over time to create extraordinary results. The 1% improvement rule is not just a tool for personal growth. It is a way of life. It requires patience, resilience, and trust in the process, but the rewards are immeasurable. Through this journey, we've seen how small improvements can unlock your full potential, overcome setbacks, and prepare you for life's inevitable changes. The compound effect of consistent progress is unstoppable, and as you continue to improve by just 1% every day, you'll realize that the path to success is paved with daily, deliberate actions that lead to extraordinary transformation. Along the way, we've explored how this rule helps you embrace change, foster a growth mindset, develop resilience, and create a sustainable path toward success. It teaches you to focus on progress, not perfection, and to recognize that every small step forward is part of a larger, meaningful journey. By reflecting on your progress and embracing the discomfort that comes with growth, you become equipped to face the challenges that lie ahead. The 1% improvement rule empowers you to take control of your own success. It shifts the focus from unattainable perfection to sustainable growth, allowing you to celebrate small wins, learn from setbacks, and consistently evolve into the person you aspire to be. Success isn't defined by one big breakthrough. It's defined by the consistent, daily efforts that compound over time to create a life of fulfillment, achievement, and personal growth. As you move forward, remember that the power to transform your life lies not in making grand gestures, but in the small, intentional actions you take each day. By committing to getting 1% better, you'll find that you don't just achieve your goals, you redefine what's possible. The journey never ends, and with each small improvement, you unlock new potential and new possibilities. So, start today. Embrace the process. Trust in the power of 1% improvement, and know that with each step you take, you are moving closer to becoming the best version of yourself. Your future is not defined by where you start, but by the small steps you take toward becoming who you are meant to be. The power to change, to grow, and to succeed lies within you, one small improvement at a time.